the Trump administration and Republicans in Congress rammed through the largest remake of the federal tax code in 30 years. It was done in secret and without consideration for what is fair or prudent. It gives giant tax breaks to the wealthiest in the land. One of the resulting pieces of the flawed Trump tax scheme is a pass-through for businesses operated as partnerships, limited liability companies, S corporations, and sole proprietorships. Under this plan, they can pass their income to their owners who pay taxes at their individual tax rate. They would get a 20% deduction for net business income under the Trump tax plan. Who does this benefit? Well, people like Mr. Trump. We don't know whether he has businesses in Oregon because he hasn't revealed his tax returns. But if he did, and this bill were to fail, he would benefit in Oregon from this plan. In addition, of course, to the benefit at the federal level. The research shows that 61% of the benefit will go to the top 5% of earners making more than $200,000 a year. Between 82 and 93% of the benefit will go to the top 20% of tax filers who own pass-through businesses. About 80% of the tax cut on existing pass-through income would flow to households with incomes of over $1 million. Their tax cuts would average roughly $50,000 apiece in 2018, boosting their after-tax incomes by more than 2%. This extreme tilt reflects the fact that the bulk of pass-through income flows to high-income households and that they would get a larger tax break on every dollar of pass-through income because they are in a higher income tax bracket. And I would note, colleagues, that there's nothing we can do about most of this because it's part of the federal law. This will happen regardless of what we do with this bill. Make no mistake, what is in front of you here is not a tax increase in Oregon. Trump's fraud is a new tax cut that would be paid for in Oregon on the backs of school children, our Medicaid system, and public safety. No one's tax bill will change if we pass this bill. However, if we do nothing, the financial future of our schools and those other critical services will be negatively impacted. According to the Legislative Revenue Office, connecting to the federal tax plan would cost in excess of $182 million in 2019 and more than that in the biennium. Next biennium, the cost will be over $400.
Representative, could you hold on one moment? For what purpose are you, Representative Wilson, for what purpose are you in the queue?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My hearing is not the best in the world, but I just think I heard the word fraud being used according to the current tax plan. I would object to the use of the word fraud if that is what I heard. Perhaps I did not hear correctly.
And I will apologize, Representative. I was distracted. Representative Barnhart, do you have a written speech? Could you say exactly what you said?
Yes, I did. And the reference, of course, is to the claims at the federal level. It has nothing to do whatever with this House.
Representative Wilson, does that answer your question?
Madam Speaker, it does answer a question, but it really doesn't address my question, and that is, should the representative be able to use the word fraud in that specific case? I object to it. I think it's out of bounds, uncalled for. I don't use the word fraud when speaking about other things that folks address here on this floor.
Representative Wilson, and again, I apologize, I was not totally tracking. I believe he's making a general statement about fraud as it relates to the federal tax code. Are you, is there a personal privilege issue that you want to talk about? Because I think that is germane to his ability to make a general comment.
Yes, Madam Speaker, thank you. I'm just again concerned with the use of the word fraud as related to the federal tax code. We are actually talking about the federal tax code today. And so to me, the use of the word fraud is not acceptable. Thank you.
Representative, thank you. We note your concern. Representative Barnhart, please continue.
Thank you very much, Madam.